Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday, and welcome to the Dark Rose Podcast. This is right now episode 10, and I'm featured, or most likely the featured guy is Dan Jameson. Welcome to the show, my guy.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. First of all, in my head, because based off like your IG stories, and the last time I saw you actually was like last year, but from that gap, you were like traveling places, like you were in different countries, different states, and sometimes like damn, like I'm already like envying you. I'm always inspired to see you like travel, and also you do a lot of videography and photography as well, right? So for me, like I always wanted to start off because what the question is like, how is the traveling like for you? Like, is it like something that is it a fun time for you? Like, do you enjoy it?
Yeah, absolutely. Traveling is super enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
Really enjoy just going around different places, experiencing different cultures,
Right.
and seeing what countries have to offer.
Right. So what kind of like things do you see? Like, so when you go into like say for example, like I think the other time I think you were in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
So did you see like different, like what did you see out there? Like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I know like you want to enjoy like the traveling, like the culture, like the videography, the photography, but I always wanted to know like what's it feel like? So for example, when you went to Dubai, like what did you see there?
Dubai was a crazy country.
Yeah.
Just going there was completely different from all the other countries I've experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what did you see there? Like where did you go actually in Dubai?
Dubai spent a good amount of time in the main city of Dubai. And just like the architecture was just incredibly beautiful. Just
Really?
going around there, yeah.
Dude, that's dope.
It was
That's dope.
freaking nuts.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I've never been to Dubai before, but I know like when I see like the structures there, I'm just like, dude, that's like incredible over there. So where else? So you went to Dubai. Where else did you go? You also went to Greece too, right?
Yeah. I spent a couple times, a couple weeks.
Couple
Greece,
weeks, really?
in
Oh
Greece.
shit!
It's really nice in Santorini.
And Santorini. So is it like what were you doing there? Were you just like photography, videography, and stuff like that?
So when I was in Greece, I worked with one of the hotels over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, called the Saint Santorini.
Oh, that's sick,
Yeah,
dude.
it was beautiful resort, and just completely vibing there.
Dude, I see that. Like I saw like because the pool side, you're on the pool side, and then also you get like the view of like the waters, right? I always feel like that's like I think I had like one of my friends that had like their honeymoon there at Santorini. So that's pretty cool though.
Yeah, big spot for a lot of honeymooners.
Oh,
So
yeah, dude.
I kind of stuck out because I was just that one guy who just like
Just like
they were just like, oh, where's your +1? And
it's just,
Just
my
me.
the only +1 is like my camera.
Yeah.
You know? My camera. Oh, and your drone too, right?
my drone.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty sick, dude. So, going back to it, what made you, you know, because we talk about like traveling, and you know, you're all like basically everywhere. Like, what made you like want to travel? You know, what makes you like desire like I want to check out places? You know what I mean?
So funny you mentioned that. The first trip that I went to that kind of inspired me to get into this art was a trip to Maui, Hawaii.
Maui, really?
Maui, Hawaii, yeah.
How long ago was that?
This was in right before COVID happened in 2019.
Oh,
Yeah,
2019. Got you.
Yeah, so I went to Maui with no plan. Pretty
No
much just
plan.
winging it. Yeah, winging it.
Finesse.
Yeah.
Like, just finesse it. Fuck it.
And I was just so blown away by the beauty of what Maui had to offer.
Really?
You know, from just the oceans, the mountainscapes.
Oh, that's
It was just incredible. Haleakala volcano, just being on top of the clouds.
and just like
Just that whole moment there, man. It was
It's
just
like-
kind of like I was there, and I was just like, I've got to capture this and figure out a way and how to just kind of express
Right.
how beautiful the world is.
right. So that made you feel like, you know what? Like, if I can see this in Hawaii, in your head, like, can I imagine seeing it in other places?
Exactly.
Oh, I got you. Is that how you also got into? Maybe it was probably before you went to Hawaii, but like, is that where your influence to do photography came from and videography?
Not all at once.
Not all at once. Gotcha,
At first,
gotcha.
it was just kind of like really simple stuff, just Instagram stories.
Right.
Kind of like just showcasing, okay, like this is what you can expect if you go to Hawaii, you know, certain places. Because if you Google, say, like Maui, Hawaii, right, you get bombarded with all these like different places to go to. It's kind of like hard to kind of start off like, okay, where do I go? Like, what's the best place to catch the sunset?
Ooh,
So
I like that. You know what's cool too? You didn't even plan it.
yeah,
I always feel like that's what it is. Like sometimes I'm like a happy medium. I feel like I do need a plan, but realistically, like I don't want to plan something because I feel like from my past experience, again, I don't really like as travel a lot like compared to you, but I have traveled before. I always feel like sometimes like a no plan is like a best plan.
yeah,
Like the plan is to go there, but when you get there, that's where you kind of get the fun because like there's some people, again, for the viewers out there, there's some people that like to organize and plan. Nothing wrong with it at all. Like for me, I'm like the type to kind of like go with the flow.
right.
So like when I was in New Orleans, like I was just like me and my boys, we all go with the flow. So all our plan was to get to our air, like get to our flight and get to our Airbnb in one piece. The next thing is, all right, now we can like see where we want to go without even like a plan. So that's when we went to like what's it called, Bourbon Street.
Right.
We went to like the seafood spots. We went to get like jambalaya, and it was super dope. And we met like new people there too. Like we met like people that were like in the Airbnb, and they were just like, oh, like we're from this state, and we're like, oh shoot, like what brings you here? And like, oh, like just for the vacation and stuff like that. So to me, like that's like the best part about not planning. Just go out there and just explore, and whatever you feel like you're vibing. Like you said, you wanted to see the sunset somewhere. Like what's the best spot to get a sunset in Hawaii? See, I wouldn't even think. Actually, no, I probably would have thought of that. Like I probably would have thought of that, but that's like the beauty of it. You know what I mean? And so going to it, like I always wanted to know because you've traveled like places, a lot of places. In your personal like opinion, what are like your top 3 spots?
Top 3 spots.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be tough because you've been.
No, it's well, the first one is easy to say. It's Iceland for sure.
Iceland really
sticks out to me like
shit.
It's a no-brainer. I mean, it's not even close. What, number 2? I mean, maybe Peru would come close, but
Peru.
I didn't spend
Machu
enough time. Yeah, I didn't spend enough time in Peru. I know it's a beautiful, magical country, and it was such a tease when I went there to just spend a couple days there. And I would love to go back and explore more. But Iceland, I've been there for 2 trips out there, 1 week each, so 2 weeks combined, and it's just incredible.
Really?
Iceland's
Holy
freaking nuts,
shit!
man.
Well, so what makes it like? What makes Iceland like? Like, what are the like spots there that convinces you? Yeah, this is top tier.
Yeah,
like top notch.
So Iceland, you have everything. Everything. You have mountains. You have glaciers. You have volcanoes. You have.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot that they have volcanoes.
It's just like, yeah, man. It's like the whole terrain in Iceland is just otherworldly.
Really?
Yeah, otherworldly. It's crazy.
It's crazy there. I know they have. I have a few friends like that visited Iceland, and they went to like that little hot, like little, what's called a hot spa or something.
The Blue
like
Lagoon.
That? The Blue Lagoon. Yeah. Never been there, but I've always wanted to. But I actually do have a cousin who actually like lives in Iceland, so it's now really giving me a reason to like visit. And then with you telling me like Iceland is a top tier, especially from all the places you travel to, I got to go check it out.
You have to, man.
I got to.
Your cousin's there, so just visit the fam.
I know. I need to. I need to. I'm gonna visit you. You know who I'm talking to. So Iceland, you said Peru, Machu Picchu.
Yeah,
that must be like different.
Yeah, man. It was Machu Picchu was just one of those places that you go in there, and there's very few moments in my life during my travels where it's kind of like it's going to be cool just because it's a world wonder, so you have high expectations. Yeah. And when you actually get there, even with that high expectation, it's kind of like you're still like in awe.
Like you're just like incredible.
Yeah,
holy shit.
It exceeds. It's just like the whole history of it. I mean, I'm not an expert when it comes to Peruvian history, but I'm pretty sure not 100%. So like, don't freaking like take this into account as okay, this is accurate. But I'm pretty sure that it was the Incans that was living out there in Peru.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
the Incans,
I can see
right?
that. I can see that.
And they built this monument, and no one really knows what the whole history is behind it. It's still an anomaly. It's only just speculation.
It's just speculations.
Assume, but it's just like you get there, and it's kind of like this is a structure that's been there for decades,
hundreds
of years. Yeah, and it just has a different type of energy to it when you get there. It's like, wow, this is Machu Picchu, and a whole bunch of stuff going on there from the beginning of time. I mean, it's just mind blowing just once you get there.
Yeah, I feel like too, like, because you were in the moment, and again, I wish I was there. I feel like when you go there, same thing with like how you saw with Maui. Like when you get there, again, it's one of like the wonders, and you're just like, this is a very appreciating moment because it's one of those things that you're never gonna like get to see in person. Well, you probably might, you know what I mean, in the near future, but like being there for the first time and just living in that area and just like, wow, like this is incredible. Like you're never gonna see it in any other place except the country of Peru.
Yeah.
How's the food there? Do you ever like try like any like favorite Peruvian dishes there?
That's one of my favorite things to do is when I get to a country is just make sure I just indulge in the local cuisine.
Local cuisine.
Yeah. I mean, I tried in Peru. I tried their alpacas.
Oh, how was that? Is that good?
It was surprisingly good. When you eat certain foods, especially with me, I don't eat seafood, so gotcha. I know I'm missing out on that. But
yeah, we're good.
It's kind of like, all right, just thought of, okay, this is an alpaca. It's like you don't really eat alpacas every day, and in the back of my head, I'm just thinking of how they freaking look.
Like how they look, and you're like, so now you're envisioning, oh man, like, but it's gonna taste like doo-doo, or like, I don't know.
Yeah, man. But no, it was good, man. It was a very good taste. Very fresh, and I would recommend it if you go to Peru. Try alpacas.
Alpacas.
I didn't have guinea pig, but my friend who I was with, Claire, she had it, and she said it was good. So
it was good. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to go there, get some guinea pig, get some. I had to come with rice, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it better be. You can't just go in. Actually, no, you can eat it without rice, but I feel like with rice and then like the juices of the alpaca and the guinea pig, oh, dude, that would sound incredible. Honestly, like I wouldn't mind like, because I'm starting to become like low key a foodie myself. But if I see something like interesting, I would give it a shot.
Yeah.
Whether it tastes good or bad, I'm just like, you know what? I got nothing to lose. Like, let me try it. I'm literally in this country. This is the only country that has this kind of like cuisine. Let me go for it. So I would definitely just like, screw it. Let me just be ballsy and try it. Yeah. Because I got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? So we got Iceland, Peru. We haven't even gotten to your last one. Like, what do you got?
Third one. All right, that's something I do have to think about because it was easy to answer Iceland and then Peru, but what would be the third?
That's a tough one. Honestly, like take your time. I always feel like the third one because again, like you said, you went to Santorini, right? That's a top notch. I'm surprised that's not even in the top 3.
It's up there for sure. I wouldn't put it at number 3. I just don't want to say, and then just like it comes back to me. I'm like, all right, completely. Like,
well, what's the first thing you think of? Like at some point in the podcast, you're gonna be like, wait, shit. I take back what I said. Actually, it's this country.
If the thing that comes to mind at number 3 right now is Dubai.
Yeah. Dubai.
But I don't know if that's like I truly enjoyed my time there, but I just don't know because it was just a recent trip.
Oh, it was
it was pretty recent. I'm trying to think if there was anything else from last year or the year before.
Was it like a were you there for like just a short period of time?
I was there for a week.
A week?
Dubai.
Gotcha. Is that like enough? So, like
no, it wasn't enough time.
It was enough.
Especially like considering that Dubai is just like one of I think it's 7 parts of or cities in the UAE.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have Dubai, you have Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
And I don't know the other.
It's fine.
Those
I honestly,
are 2 I went to.
At least you know. I know nothing. Well, actually, Dubai, but that was it. The 6 other ones.
Yeah.
No clue.
No idea.
Well, yeah, but dude, so Dubai, you would say Dubai just for now.
For now.
Just for temporary, because you just recently were there.
I was just recently there.
Yeah. Have you been to anywhere like in Asia by any chance?
Not yet, man.
Not yet.
No.
Oh,
and
dude.
I'm itching to go as soon as possible. Hopefully before the year's end, I end up going to. I really want to go to Bali.
Bali,
Indonesia.
Dude, I feel like you should. If you backpack, bro, like.
Yeah, man.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
You know, you see it. I'm sure you've seen it all the time in social media. Like what you see out there is just beautiful scenery, perfect beaches. You know. And
yeah, dude.
the culture there too is fantastic. From everyone I spoke to that's been there.
They're saying,
Indonesians are super nice people.
Super nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. And especially like when you go out there, obviously the food's gonna be good, the places, and I'm pretty sure they welcome you with open arms too. You know what I mean? I also think another place you should try, maybe a suggestion, like Singapore. I feel like Singapore, it's like apparently like I don't know if it's the cleanest country in the world, but I know it's up there.
I heard that stat. I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere like I don't know. All I know is from what I was told, like if you throw like a piece of gum on the floor,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. You guys can correct me on this. If you just throw something on the floor, apparently they'll just like yell at you, or they'll fine you for.
I think it's a fine.
It's a
yeah.
fine,
I think
right?
So it's like a fine or something like that.
Yeah, but that's good. That's awesome though. You know what I mean? Like you never get to see that. Like
No.
I wish the U.S. could do that. Like we just throw it and then just like pick it up. Like you know what I mean? But that's only in Singapore. You know what I mean? Philippines. I know that's our home country.
Yeah.
I know I've been to Philippines back in 2019 because that was like the last time pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic.
Yeah, and that was a fun time. Honestly, I feel like you know how you said like Dubai, 1 week is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the same thing for Philippines, but it actually varies. Like I was there for actually a little bit more than a month. Fun. It was fun though. Like don't get me wrong, but like after like the third week, I was just like, dude, I want to go home. Like I'm kind of like homesick. I'm a little bit tired, but that's just personally me. But I feel like 3 weeks is like perfect to like just check out, maybe island hop. I feel like that's something that you should try, like island hop to like different places and see where it takes you. And obviously like the food there is like really really good. Yeah, can't go wrong with like a pork sisig, chicken
man.
adobo, bro.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Philippines is definitely there. It's just like when I do make the move to Asia, I want to hit the Philippines, and they're all very very close.
Yeah, like right
you
next
get
door.
to Singapore and you can pretty much transition into the Philippines for a couple $100 from there. So Philippines, Thailand, said Indonesia, Malaysia's right there.
Malaysia's
next to
like right there.
Singapore,
Yeah, my boy actually did a backpacking in Asia. He said like that's like the way to go about it, which is obviously it's going to be expensive from the United States to Asia because obviously that's like basically a 12-hour difference. But the minute you get to Asia, it gets much smoother from there because then when you start to like, this is like what I was saying, the backpacking thing, he was telling me like the flights were cheap when you fly different places of Asia. And it's actually kind of nice because like you save, like again, the economy is different over there, so it's probably like some of the countries are probably way more cheaper in currency, like with the comparison to US currency, you know what I mean? So going there, and I feel like trying different places by just flying around Asia is like the best way to go about it for backpacking. Yeah, from what my boy told me, because he did it and he was like, I want to do it again at some point. I think he's trying to do South America next to backpack around, which is something like I wish I could do that. Like one day soon. But anyway, sidetrack. Okay, so we talk about traveling. I do also want to talk about, because I've seen your Instagram, and it's not just traveling, but you are really, really excellent with like videography, photography. So where did that like stem from? Like where did the videography? Like we'll just go at one at a time. So videography, I've seen it and I was like, dude, it makes people like want to like. I'm one of those viewers where I'm like looking, I'm like, I wish I was there because it makes it look cool to want to go there. You know what I mean? So where did that kind of started from, videography for you?
So where did it start from exactly? It just I would say just picking up. First, I had a GoPro first. I had the GoPro first.
Hero 3?
Hero, we go actually way back. My first GoPro goes back to, I think, 7, but I didn't even really utilize that as much,
shit.
But technically that was my first.
The
my
Hero
first
7?
GoPro, something like that, yeah.
What were you like just like recording like random stuff? Just like, do you have by the way, sorry, another question too. Did you have a gimbal?
For the GoPro back then?
For the GoPro back then, or no?
No, it was just something I picked up, and I didn't even use it for travel at the time, so it's unrelated to the topic. But you asked me like
where it came from.
I guess that was like the first moment, just being fascinated with GoPro and seeing what it can do. At first, and then years later,
Mm-hmm.
I bought my second GoPro, which is a more updated version at the time was the Hero 9.
Hero 9?
Yeah.
Got you.
So, GoPro, obviously we think about GoPro, we think about,
Mm-hmm.
people doing traveling, extreme sports, stuff of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked that up and I kind of just like researched,
Mm-hmm.
some kind of like inspirational work that people have made
done,
with GoPro.
Yeah, with the GoPro.
So looking at that, it was just like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, this is what you can do with the GoPro. Like, let me learn and see.
And then just
how
play
I can
around
do
with
for
it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like when you were experimenting, this is where you probably, again, this is my assumption, but you're here, so you can literally give me like the answer to it.
Right.
But this is where you probably started buying more GoPro equipments, right? Like I've seen the headband where they just put on, or the chest one, and so it's just like I'm gonna use it just for like hiking or running or biking or whatever you want, or even surfing too, because you have like the waterproof like cases to protect it from water, basically.
Yeah.
So is that where you probably got like, that's where you started getting the equipment and you started getting like the commitment, or not, I won't say commitment yet, but like kind of like, okay, I'm kind of like vibe into this, like I'm
you're spot on with that. As soon as I got the GoPro, it just led to one
Yeah.
accessory after another.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I did
that's
get
sick.
a gimbal for it.
Yeah,
You need that.
That is sick. Yeah, I have a gimbal. I have the Hero. It's old too. It's the Hero. I think it was the Hero 3 or 4, and I did get the gimbal for it. It is so nice because like when I'm walking around, it's not like shaky. It's just like a smooth like walk transition.
Stabilization is sick.
Yeah,
for the GoPro, man. That's what they're
it's
known for.
That's what they're known for, and like even does like it has like the remote joystick on the gimbal where you can just like do 360s, change the mode and stuff like that. And that's, to me, that's also how I got hooked. Not into traveling at the time, but I was like at the time I was trying to get into like the vlogging, so where I was just talking about like my lifestyle, what I was doing, like just like a typical like what I was doing. And at the time too, I was in college, so I was just trying to play around with like the GoPro and stuff like that. It was dope too. Like it was nice. The funny thing is too, when I talk into a camera, it's like the toughest thing, like the most challenging thing, because like I feel like when I'm talking to a camera and like I'm vlogging, I feel like I don't want to mess up. You know what I mean? And I was doing that in the beginning where I'm just like, shit, like I gotta start over. Crap. Like I'm like stuttering, blah blah blah. But as soon as like time progressed and I just kept doing it over, I started realizing like I shouldn't even care of what I'm going to, like if I mess up, like I can always edit. And that's where like the whole editing comes from, like iMovie, Adobe Premiere. I think you mentioned something to me literally like an hour ago. I think it was called Davinci, right?
Yeah, Davinci Resolve.
Yeah, Davinci Resolve. I know, like from what you were telling me, like that's the go-to software that you were using, right? So like how is that? Like is that like the software like really good in terms
Davinci?
of like,
Yeah, so I've actually just started using it. I don't know too much about it because originally I'm using Premiere Pro. Like
Premiere
that's the
Pro?
actual program I'm using, but I'm making that transition, as well as many other people transitioning from Premiere and Final Cut to DaVinci, just because that program has everything you really need. Like it pretty much is a hybrid of both programs, gives the best of both worlds, and it's just, I mean, Blackmagic, the designers of DaVinci, I heard is really good. Like they listen to the requests and needs of the creators, and there's just a top-notch company. So DaVinci's like one of those
like
programs.
those programs.
Like, okay, it's good now, and it's just gonna blow up soon. I'm pretty sure they will too.
Yeah, it's probably at some point, because I know you're telling me like it's a free software.
Yeah.
But I know once it starts popping, bro, I know they're gonna like start charging people.
I hope not, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too, bro. Like, I only use the typical iMovie. It's just kind of like just straightforward. But like, I do want to see myself like at some point utilizing like an Adobe Premiere or a DaVinci.
No, you
know
just
what I mean?
go DaVinci, man.
I got
free.
to.
Just get used to it.
I got to, bro.
Yeah.
I got to. So shit. But going, sorry, we were sidetracked and stuff like that. But so your videography started from the Hero, like the GoPro Hero 7, and then you went to the Hero 9. So now this is where I want to ask you, now how did that translate to traveling? You know what I mean? So this is where you're like, I got the videography here. we did talk about your traveling here.
Yeah.
So now it's like, where did the pieces, or where did that, when you knew like, I'm putting this together as one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So getting the GoPro at first, I knew I wanted to create travel content because I knew I was going to go to all these different places, right? And it was just a matter of, okay, how am I going to capture the beauty of wherever it is I'm going to? And getting the GoPro, I think I was naive to think that it would be as simple as just strapping it up onto my chest or something like that on my backpack.
Yeah.
And just kind of like recording everything point of view and just going from one place to another. Which is excellent. You know, POV is an excellent storytelling art, but it's not that simple, man. I kind of figured out, you know, after a trip to San Francisco, that was actually my first ever type of like filming experience with the GoPro.
With the GoPro?
Just strapping that up, going on a bike ride across the Golden Gate Bridge. Right? That's like the first thing I ever did. And then like going back, I didn't even put anything together because the footage was just atrocious, you know?
Well, here's the game. Like, that's like when you start. That's already like, again, for people that just started, like even myself, bro, like when I started, it's going to be atrocious. Like, it's going to be like, shoot. And especially too when in the beginning too, when you're like, oh, dude, this actually like, this looks pretty good. And then when you get more experience, you look back into the footage, you're just like, wow, that's actually kind of like, horrendous than I thought.
That's how I knew you're getting better too. So
yeah, that's what I
knew.
It's a way of improvement.
Yeah.
So San Francisco bike ride,
and
then you were just like, all right, you know what? It's time for me to do like a little collage of
super excited to do it. Just trying to put something together, and then I was just like, you know what? Like something doesn't add up. It doesn't feel right. Like it's just point of view shots of me like going from everywhere in San Francisco biking. I mean, I need to be a little bit more creative with this, and then that's where just the endless research happened, and that led me to getting this new camera that I'm using.
That's sick. Yeah. So it's like, so you realize when you see like the video, and then you're just like, okay, there's a video, but in my head, what I can do something with it. I want to make it look meaningful. So when I travel to San Francisco, I want all my recordings to have some sort of defining like meanings to make viewers like say, you know what, like just after looking at that video, now I'm convinced I want to go to San Francisco.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's to me like that's actually like one of the things that's actually pretty inspiring from seeing your point of view, because it's like one of those things where like I said, with your editing and your videography and stuff like that, it's working. Because honestly, like when I watch your stuff and you make it like meaningful, it makes people want to go there, like go to that location. You know what I mean? And that's why to me, like when I see your stuff, it's just like he's doing well right now because he's just traveling places, and also you're just enjoying too. You know what I mean? You're just out there. I think the coolest thing too, I always forget. I literally just realized I didn't even mention it at all on the podcast, but meeting people.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've noticed that you like met like a bunch of people like in different countries, bro. Yeah, like that's sick.
It's very, very enjoyable, man. I love every moment that I spend in countries, just meeting all these great people, and kind of it's there's another side to the coin for that. It's kind of like you spend all these cool moments during that trip, but like in the back of your head, it's kind of like this is probably the last time you'll ever see them and spend this time. So that's why when you're out there, you kind of just have to make the most out of it.
Make the best out of it,
because you're not gonna most likely not gonna see them again. I've actually met up with people I've met in different countries just because we connected so well with each other that we had to like freaking meet up again. But 99% of the time, you're having a cool time with these people during the moment, and that will be that. Just because we're all busy, it's just hard to like align schedules, but it does happen at times. Yeah,
it happens because like everyone's gonna be like at the end of the day, it was in the moment, but like everyone has like their own lives, like they gotta like take care of and do some goals and stuff like that. But it's nice though. At least like you probably like got like their Instagrams or numbers or Snapchat or something like that. But I always feel like the moment's always the best because you're never going to forget that. You always like live in the moment. You're like, I remember meeting this group of people and it was such like a vibe. Like it was such a good time. you know, and I can always like if at some points if I ever want to reach out to them, I could. Maybe some of them might not be able to make it because they're busy with their own lives. That's totally fine, but like you still have their contacts at the end of the day, and that to me is nice because like we only live once, man. You know what I mean? Like I feel like when you only live once, you got to make the best out of it, and I feel like traveling is like one of those areas where you just have to make the best out of it. You know what I mean? Miss out on the moments.
Yeah, that's really a struggle, man. Like, it freaking sucks sometimes, man.
I don't blame you, bro. Like it's like a double-edged sword. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's much simpler before, you know, kind of like when I was traveling before.
Yeah.
The camera recording anything, it was just like just free reign, man. I didn't have to worry about any of the gear I was carrying. That's another thing, man. Carrying all that gear wherever you're at, you always have to know where. Like you'd never like. God forbid you lose that, someone steals that, it's over.
It's over, bro.
It's over.
Do you know how much like money that just from that backpack itself?
Yeah.
That backpack itself. By the way, we're recording right now. My bad. We were on technical difficulties. We apologize because we were literally in the midst of like his discussion about, you know, time restraint and making sure like he gets all the cherishing moments. But we were just talking about like your equipment and knowing like we need that. Like if someone like takes your stuff, like you're done for. Yeah. That's like I don't even know how much. Like don't even tell me. Don't even tell me how much it is, bro. Don't even tell me how much it is because just looking at it, I'm already telling it's just like a whole money right there, bro. A whole baller's money. But was it worth it?
But yeah,
it's worth I think it's worth it.
Worth it, man.
Yeah. So I do want to like conclude like with, you know, probably like 2 or 3 more questions. So, you know, bringing your gear around, like, right, because we're talking about like the equipments and stuff like that. And I know you've upgraded from the Hero 9 to like the Canons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I guess because you do a lot of research, like what made you want to go for the Canon, like the base, the lenses, you know, and how it pertains to like, you know, I can already see like these lenses are good for traveling. Was that like kind of how it was? You were just doing like, how long did the research take actually to make that conclusion to buy it?
Say a couple weeks for sure.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, and that's how I am with not just, you know, buying camera equipment, but
yeah,
I get very OCD with like researching and just going heavy on like with traveling, researching where to go and all that stuff, etc. But with the camera equipment, yeah, just looking up. First of all, I had no knowledge on anything about using a camera, so I had to like read up on, you know, like, okay, so what's the difference between a full frame and you know, the 3/4 CMOS camera, for instance, and you know, just educating myself and trying to make a decision from there. Gotcha. But what made me choose Canon was that the particular model that I have, the R5, is known to be a good hybrid camera, which means it's excellent with both photography and videography. Gotcha. So that's ultimately what made my decision to go for that.
Oh, that's sick. So you get the variety, like the best of both a videography and a photography in one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart. I was thinking about that too, because like I myself need to do some research at some point. You know what I mean? Like I want to get myself again. I don't in my head like I do want to do like a little bit of photography also, because I do like taking pictures, you know, in the moment. You know what I mean? And like when I see a picture and I see it like envisioned in my head and I want to take it, I want to make sure like it has like that nice angle, the nice like like the clear like whole thing, like the whole frame of you're just like, oh dude, that's sick. You know what I mean? And that's the final question before we conclude to this was, now we can go into your photography stuff. We did the videography, we did your traveling. We know like traveling for you is already like it's worth it, and also at the same time too it could be draining because you know you're doing all the contents, videography being one of them, and now the next one, the final one, photography. So going to that, I don't think a GoPro Hero would be photography, so I kind of want to know lastly, how did you get into the photography, and then connecting it to your travels?
So that's actually really easy to answer because I'll never forget it. So when I plan my trips, I don't know how you plan it, but most people will Google certain locations. That's, you know, the first thing people do, and I do that myself too. But another thing that I've always done from the very beginning was just kind of see what comes up on Instagram searches if you type in, say, like Dubai,
Dubai,
or Italy, Postana, whatever comes up, and you'll see in the search results like all the top posts, right? So when I was doing that, and the more I did that, you know how Instagram algorithm picks up on your...
Yeah, it's like you see it on the news feed, like, right?
Right, so it picks up on my trends, and I'm searching all this, and beautiful locations, cool spots, scenic lookouts, stuff like that. Eventually, it started throwing me all these different content creators, like, work. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, this is freaking amazing what I'm seeing. Like,
how are they doing this?
So that's how that whole idea came about. I'm like, I could do that too, like, just let me try and emulate that and just put my own type of style to it.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick. And like that's the thing too. Especially there's a lot of like photographers and videographers, especially like they get themselves out there. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you have to. Did you like? I'm like probably like assuming this, but you have to put in the work to really like get where you are. You know what I mean? With the the amount of like people you influence, the amount of followers that you got, you know what I mean? All just from the work that you put in. You know what I mean? Like it kind of just like just looking at it too, it's just like it's inspiring because a lot of people would have like that creativity, but just trying to get themselves out there, it's kind of hard because everyone's just kind of going with it. You know what I mean? I feel like for you were trying to figure out ways how to get yourself out there, probably like the algorithms. You know what I mean? Photography obviously, and the videography, you got it, and you also have the creativity. The question is like how did you get yourself out there? You know what I mean? Probably was it through like the networking and everything like that?
Networking is huge. There's it's a community of creatives that everyone's like super supportive of each other. That's actually one community that I am a part of is I don't know if you heard of Christian LeBlanc. He's a YouTuber.
I think I've heard of him.
I'm sure you've seen one of his videos or something like that. Especially like he's big with Philippines travel. It's one of his favorite destinations. And
that's sick.
He's cool, man. He covers a lot of different countries and really gives that raw type of vlogging experience.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he has a community of like 2,000 something creators, and
damn,
it's awesome, man. It's an awesome little community, and we always connect with each other. In fact, when I do go to a different country, like I check with the group to see like who's around, so maybe we could always like meet up and collaborate, create something, which is another different topic in traveling that we didn't touch up on. But collabing with other people that share my same type of vision is something that I've been doing a lot more of. And
that's actually a big thing too, because it's like not only like you get a chance to like meet people and you get to link up with them too, and once they support you, because again like creators, like they always got like their top notch like influences, you know what I mean? If you're able to link with different influencers and they seeing you trying to be on the rise too, and knowing that you enjoy traveling and stuff like that, they're gonna be there for you. You're right, I didn't even touch up on that shit.
It's fun, man.
That's sick though.
It's cool.
That's why I think just overall, like I know we're gonna probably conclude this right now, but just seeing like overall how you're doing right now, especially with like your traveling, your videography, your photography, networking, and all that hard work, bro, like you're doing a phenomenal job, my guy. And again, I was already shocked that you were able to come through, because to me, I was just like, this guy's like traveling places. I don't know if I'm ever going to get a chance to get him on my podcast, but you're here. So I'm happy that you got a chance to come through. But thank you for coming, my guy.
Man, thanks for having me.
Guys, make sure to check out his IG. It's on the link below. I might even put it on the screen, like probably like right here. But thank you guys for watching episode 10. Stay tuned for episode 11. My guy, let's get it.